Good afternoon, Madam President, and thank you. I want to begin by thanking the good chairwoman of the Government Administration and Elections Committee for her hard work to bring us here to this point today. I've worked on this bill for many years, as I think many people around the circle know. It was one of the first bills I took up when I got here in 2009. We didn't make it before the prior census, and I'm certainly hoping that we make it here now. During the debate so far, I've heard conversation about a lot of things, and I think I would like to address some of those things because I think it's important to understanding why I think this is important. I heard a back and forth about whether or not people in our prisons and jails can vote. And while it is the case that some of them are able to vote, it is also the case that the tried and true way in which this state is operated has not allowed for them to vote, which is why some of the other policies we've seen have come before this General Assembly trying to deal with that issue. But I guess I want to focus mostly on what was spoken about before about the true reality of this bill. Because I don't think the true reality of this bill is, with all due respect, from my perspective, it's a different thing than what was talked about. The true reality of this bill is that there will not be a benefiting from the bodies. These aren't bodies, these are human beings. And sometimes we forget when we speak, we use language that disassociates the human being from those bodies that we're talking about. There's a soul there, there's a mind there, there's a thinking there. And I know that because I don't from time to time get a letter from the people in the prisons. I don't from time to time get a call from their families. On a daily basis, I'm getting these things. Although those prisons aren't in my district. And anybody who knows me, who's visited my office, will often see a pile of letters that are from people in the prisons, and I'm constantly going through those. So it's not a periodic thing. It's not a once in a while thing. It is a constant deluge. And you would have to ask yourself the question, well, you don't technically represent those people. So why are you getting all those letters? You might think it has something to do with the fact that I'm in their community. Not the community they choose, right? The community that they actually are a part of, although they are not living there currently, where their parents and brothers and sisters are. You might think that it's because I have some understanding of some of the issues that they have experienced. That's true too. But I think mostly it's because I'm responsive to the needs of these people. Because the things that I talk about in this building that are often opposed by the very people who have those prisons in their districts are the things that are incorporated in those letters and phone calls from the families. Sure, there are plenty of things you could talk about here, but the constituents in my district who are officially counted in my district also have to deal with the fact that I spend a lot of my time dealing with the constituents who are not. We talk about the concept of one person, one vote. Well, that doesn't get it. This policy brings us closer to that concept. This policy brings us closer to a place where we are operating in a fair way. I don't want to speak very long because I think everybody around this circle has heard me speak about this at one point or another. I just think it's important to remember that when we're speaking about this, we are talking about human beings, and we are talking about human beings who, yes, do not choose to, usually, reside in these places, and also who are not chosen to reside in these places. And for that reason, I think it's important to remember that if you don't want them when they come out, you shouldn't have them when they're in. And let's not act like the communities we're talking about really want these people to be incorporated into their community. And you could understand that, right? Like you could understand that, but the reality is you don't want them once they're out of the system. You want them when they're in. Well, you want their bodies when they're in. And if we're going to be a state that operates the way that we believe we operate, where we believe in fairness, where we believe in treating all people in the way that they should be treated, which is as human beings, then this is the very policy that we should be engaged in. And with that, I will end my comments, and again, thank the good chairwoman for the work she's done, because before this point, we haven't gotten here. Thank you.